It's not a novel, because a novel is something for you to relate to, or something for you to identify with, or something for you to recognize. You're not meant to have that in The Lord of the Rings. What you are meant to have is a desire to be like Aragorn at the Black Gate, or to be like one of the riders of Rohirrim at Pelennor Fields, or to be like Sam carrying his best friend up a mountain to complete his task. That is what The Lord of the Rings is supposed to be for you. You're not supposed to sit there and read it and go, oh, I just feel Frodo so much right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I can relate to that. That might be an element of it, because you can't really talk about the struggle of the human condition without somebody being able to relate to it. But that's certainly not the purpose. The purpose is, look at Frodo, look at Sam, look at how good they are, and be like them. Which is kind of more what makes it a little bit different from the novel. Because the novel wants you to see yourself in somebody else. You're not meant to see yourself in Frodo. You want to make yourself like him. You should want to make yourself like Aragorn. You should want to make yourself like Gandalf. And have virtues to embody, not see yourself in somebody, because if you see yourself in the protagonist of a story, there's nothing for you to aspire to. You're just already there.
There definitely, to your point, there definitely is that element of I can relate to this thing that I see Frodo doing, right? Or this thing that I see Boromir doing, or this thing that I see Sam doing. Or things that I relate to in the sense that they are doing this thing that I really desire to be doing. Such as Sam coming home at the end of it to Rosie and yellow light and a fire in the hearth and dinner at the ready and he was expected. Like, I mean, that's amazing. Like, we all, whether we have that or we want that, but there is a sense in which we relate to it, but it's also aspirational. Mm-hmm. It's not just they're me. It is they are the best versions of me.
They are what I wish to be.
Yeah. Yeah, what I wish to be.
I think, particularly, I'm glad you mentioned both Boromir and Sam, because there is something in Boromir and Sam, particularly that all men desire. In Boromir, there is the desire for a last stand. You know, I'm pretty sure the majority of men, if you asked their ideal death, a lot of them would say, at least somewhere high on the list, is to die fighting for what was right. Fighting to protect somebody. Giving my life for somebody else. Self-sacrificial. But also in Sam, there is this aspirational, I just want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have achieved the Nobel Prize. You know, there was a trend for a long time of, you know, athletes who would finish a race or somebody that would win some competition, and then the reporter would come up and say, what are you going to do now? And then most of the time they're expected to plug some product. The best thing for him to say to, what are you going to do now? You just won this race. What are you going to do now? The best thing for him to say should be, I'm going to go home and embrace my children and love my wife.
Because that is what it's all for.